Welcome, my dear students, for a new lecture of functional analysis. In the previous lecture, we have established that in a finite dimensional normed space, compact is a compactness if and only if closed and bounded. Okay. Now we move on to some other properties in the case of finite dimensional normed space. One of the classic theorem which we need in the study of functional analysis is called the rhesus lemma. This is one of the classic theorems in functional analysis. So let me state this lemma first. Let y and z be subspaces of a normed space X, which is of any dimension. Dimension need not be finite. And suppose that y is closed and is a proper subset of z. And suppose that y is closed and is a proper subset of z. Then for every real number theta in the interval open interval 0 1, then for every real number theta in open interval 0 1, there is an element z belongs to capital Z such that norm of z is equal to 1 and norm of z minus pi greater than or equal to theta for all y element of capital. This is the state. So we have a normed space X which is of any dimension and two subspaces Y and Z of X, and it is assumed that Y is closed and is a proper subset of Z. Then for every real number theta which is in between 0 and 1, there exists an Z element of Z such that the norm which is in terms of a metric, that is d of zy, the distance between z and y can be greater than any real number theta which is in between 0 and 1. So this is the statement of the rhesus lemma. We have the space normed space X and two subspaces Z and Y is actually a subset of Z, and our assumption is that, our statement is that for any given Y, for any element in this space, you can always find an Z in this space such that the distance between them is greater than or equal to the theta which is in between 0 and 1. If you take any given number in between 0 and 1, you can always find 2 points such that norm of the distance between them, Z and Y, where Z is a point in capital Z and Y is a point in capital Y, is greater than or equal to theta, and norm Z can be 1. Or for any given Y, for any given point in this space, the inside space, you can always find a point in this space Z such that the distance between them can be greater than theta, where theta is the choice of a number which is in between 0 and 1, which is chosen by us. So this is what actually Rhesus lemma states. It has many consequences. One of the classic consequences is that there are spaces in which the dimension of the space is finite, cannot be established trivially. Okay. So in such a case, Rhesus lemma gives us a consequence such that the consequence is if the unit ball is actually compact unit ball, then the space is actually finite dimension. So Rhesus lemma can be used to establish whether or not a space is finite dimension with respect to a small unit ball and checking whether or not the unit ball is compact. And also it can be used to establish several other properties. I give you one such property which is to establish the finite whether or not a space is actually finite dimensional. So we will discuss that in later. And also it can be used to establish some other properties as well. Okay. So let's move on to the proof of the Rhesus lemma, which is actually very simple proof. So move on to the proof. First we consider a V, an element V, which is in Z minus Y, which is in this part, the part where Y is avoided from Z. So V is somewhat here. Okay, here. And denote, let's denote the distance between from Y and V as A. So the distance between a set and a point is the fact that if you take the any given point inside here, you can always find the distance d of, here the point is y, maybe d of y v, and among all those distance, the least among the set of all distance is called the distance between a set and a point. So the distance a is given as a is equal to infimum, the least among all distance. So for any given y in this space, we find norm v minus y, which is actually, I can write this as d of vy. d of vy is actually norm of v minus y, where d is the norm associated, v is the metric associated with the norm. So if you take any point small y in this space and take the distance between point y and v for any given point. If you take a point here, you can take a point here, you can take a point here, you can take a point here, any given point, you can take the distance. And among all those distance, you take the least. So which is the distance between the set y and the v. So which is, we called the distance as a. So our objective is to find a point Z such that whose norm is actually 1 and the distance between Z and Y is greater than theta for any given theta in between 0 and 1. This is our objective. So since actually A is the infimum of norm of V minus Y and A is always positive because our point V is not in Y. The only instant such that the distance is 0 is the fact that the 2 points are in the same set. Okay. In that case also, in that is the only case when the distance between a point and the set becomes 0. So here the point is not in the set Y. So the distance is always positive. So A is greater than 0 and Y is actually closed, which is given. So we take any theta which is in between 0 and 1. Now, a by theta should be greater than a. It is clear because theta is in between 0 and 1. A real number is divided by any quantity which is less than 1 and in between 0 and 1, which makes the quantity becomes larger than the original quantity. So a by theta is actually greater than a. Now a is defined to be the infimum of the distance norm v minus y where y belongs to capital Y. So infimum is defined as the greatest lower bound. So it is the largest among the set of all lower bounds. Okay. So since a by theta is greater than a by theta cannot be a lower bound of our set. Our set consists of set of all v minus y. So a by theta is greater than a. So a is the greatest lower bound. Any number which is greater than a should not be a lower bound. So in between a and a by theta, there should exist at least one element of the set. Our set consisting of, our set is actually set of all norm of v minus y where y element of y. So at least one element in this set should be in between a and a by theta because a is the infimum. Okay, that's the reason. So let's take that element as y naught. So y naught is a point here such that the distance is actually in between a and a by theta. Since a by theta is greater than a, so a is the infimum. This is why this inequality holds. So we have found a point y naught corresponding to this. Now we define our point z. That z be c into v minus y naught. V is the point which we have chosen, y naught is the point which we have obtained satisfying this condition. So there is always such a point. Where c is equal to, c is a constant which is defined as 1 by norm v minus y naught. This is excess, this is positive quantity because y naught is actually a point in y and v is a point which is not in y. So distance between this is always positive. Okay. So 1 by that number should always exist. Okay. Clearly, norm of z is equal to norm of c into what? V minus y naught, which is equal to, c is positive, so we do not take modulus of c into norm of v minus y naught. Substitute the value of c, which is 1 by norm v minus y naught into norm v minus y naught. If we cancel these terms, the answer becomes 1. So we have found a point z such that norm z is equal to 1. So our first objective is being satisfied. That point is obtained corresponding to a theta and an infimum. So such a point exists. Now we have to prove that norm of z minus y is actually greater than theta, which I think we will establish in the next video. Okay.